I always tell people to get outside the comfort zone and do things that are uncomfortable. Well, our next guest takes this to a whole new level. He's gone from rock bottom with alcohol and drug abuse to now at the peak of his physical and mental fitness. Last month he climbed the tallest mountain in England carrying a concept rower on his shoulder. He rode 10,000 metres at the summit before carrying it back down. There is nothing that this person will not attempt in order to challenge his physical and mental toughness. Muscles and Mindset Podcast, Episode 2. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Episode 2 of Muscles and Mindset Podcast. Welcome back. Today we have a special guest, Mr. Paul Coote.
How are you doing? You alright?
Good, thanks for coming.
No problem.
So, we'll get straight in. We know that Paul does a lot in fitness. He's done all sorts of challenges and he's at the peak of his physical fitness, probably I'd say now. So, I want to start right from the very beginning. So let's go back to where you got into fitness, where it all began for you.
Where it all began, I've always been that guy who's always been into everything as a kid. Swimming, cricket, cross country, running, football, whatever I've been doing it. I go to sports clubs every other night. I'm just constantly active doing stuff. I'm just pushing boundaries even at a young age.
That's good. So you can already tell that the mindset has been there right from the very start.
Yeah, definitely.
So, starting on the mindset kind of things, what are your non-negotiables that keep you in the right mindset every day that you've got
Every single day I will not interact with people until I have done what I need to do in the morning, which is go for a walk.
Yeah.
Sit with myself for 3 minutes in silence, tell myself intentions, bits of meditation that I do need to get back into, bits of breath work, which I do get lazy with. I'm only human, but it just proves I'm still human at the end of the day. But they're my non-negotiables, where, because I just think once I've done everything I need to do, my mind's in the right place where I can interact with people. I can interact with everyday problems like people getting stressed over traffic, the weather. Now, if stuff like that's bothering you, you've got too much time in your hands.
I 100% agree. I'm the same. Literally, dive out of bed, regardless of how you feel. You take the emotions straight out of it. Get out of bed, straight to the gym, do your cardio, and you feel so much better.
Yeah, well, I just think I apply a lot of gratitude in my life as well. Just thinking somebody would love to be able to get up out of bed.
Definitely.
That they can't even get out of bed. There's always someone a lot worse off than you, so you've got to appreciate every single day. As soon as you wake, even when you wake up, it's such a privilege to even wake up.
100%.
Because nobody's guaranteed tomorrow.
Definitely. So, as we move a bit further along, what led you down the competitive bodybuilding route then?
The competitive, well, this is where you come into it. We've been about 8-10 years now. We've been
probably not just that long. Yeah.
So I played football as a kid. I trialled for Rovers, played for Rovers, and then I got released, and then I started going out, doing what normal lads do, drink, meet women, and the rest is history. So I stopped playing football, and then I got back into football. My brother got me, said, just come back down playing football, because I quit everybody's dream to play football. It broke my heart, and I thought, can't be arsed not playing anymore. So that's when I did get in a bit of a lazy side. I was still active, I didn't train, didn't do anything, just going out all the time. And then my brother said, why don't you come down just for a local league? So I started playing there again, started getting the bug again, started bagging goals, as I always have. Then I had a few semi-pro teams come knocking. I was playing for Langor. In personal awards, I got leading goal scorer player of the year, and then we went on to team awards, winning the league, winning the Lancashire Trophy, which is a big achievement in Lancashire, winning the best team in Lancashire. At the county ground, we won 2-0, I scored both goals. So I've always been a winner, I've always loved winning. And winning individually, but as a team, when I'm playing part of a team, I will literally put my everything on the line for my teammates.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same, but I think I've always preferred things on my own due to the fact that if someone else lets you down on the team, if it's just you, bodybuilding for example, it's you. Something goes wrong, your fault. If you don't win, it's down to you, no matter what. Whereas
with
team
football,
sports,
because
a little
obviously
bit different, isn't
you
it?
don't know what people are going through that day, emotions, take control, nerves. So if someone's not turned up, and then it's like losing a player.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've got to give even more, and there's only so much you can physically do. So it is frustrating, it is upsetting when you know you give your absolute best and one of your mates has not turned up,
Yeah.
and he knows he's not turned up. But that's just me being me.
So when was your first competition bodybuilding?
So yeah, so I did all the semi-pro circuit, did really well, playing, won again, we were Leeds Promotion Cups, then I did my ACL, which it broke my heart because I were at the peak of my football again, I was playing well, people were sniffing around, and then my knee popped, so I were out for a few weeks. It was just the not being able to do anything that really bothered me. I started doubting myself, started thinking, is this it? As I was getting older, so it did take a bit of a knock my mind, but like I said, I always apply gratitude. And then I got into competitive bodybuilding. I started going into the gym because I knew I couldn't play football. I was always a gym goer, just an everyday gym goer.
Yeah.
Then I started delving into getting more obsessed, because bodybuilding is a very obsessive, selfish sport. Because I've been there, I've won the t-shirt, I've done it, and most people would agree with me. You have to. Do you want to do well at bodybuilding? You have to be selfish.
Yeah.
You have to be obsessive. You've nothing else on your mind but bodybuilding. Eat, train, sleep. Eat, train, sleep. That's all you got to do. So yeah, I started doing that, and then I started looking well. Now there's a saying first you do it to look good, then you realise it's deeper than that. So I started going into it, and then we got Matt Fear on as the coach, and then he started prepping me. I think you were getting advice from you, Danny Mahmood. So it was a good little network, and then we'd all train. So it was good. I did start getting the bug. I'd never done a show, so I didn't know what to expect. So I'm an extreme guy, and I just give everything I got. 2 hours a day, Stairmaster.
And I think we've seen from the pictures, you, as much as anyone, always bring the condition.
Oh, yeah.
You're always absolutely peeled inside out, and you know what it takes. I think we prepped at the same time one year, so I remember messaging you when we were like a couple of weeks out and both getting a bit emotional,
Yeah, you
as you do, because it is that when you get to that stage, it is very, very...
It's the last 4 or 5 weeks. Any competitive bodybuilder would agree. The last 4 weeks will test you. It will try and break you. You feel like everyone's doubting you. You feel like you won't be good enough. You try and post a picture on Instagram, and you're saying, "I'm not." I remember I was saying to my partner Louise, I had a 29-inch waist at 6'2". I was diced out my head. Looking back now, it was crazy. And I remember at the night I started crying, saying, "I'm not ready. I'm not doing it." I quit, and I quit. And I went to bed, and then woke up next day, and I was like, "I know why I'm doing this."
Yeah, and again, but that's part of the reason why we have coaches, because we're always pushing ourselves to the absolute
It's that
limit.
accountability, isn't it, and that second opinion, just to reel you back in as well.
Yeah, because I mean, you probably push yourself too hard and go too far. Yeah, so it's just shows the importance of the accountability.
I remember one session I'd done an hour Stairmaster. I'd just done a brutal leg session with Ryan Cartwright, who was my coach. If anyone trains with Ryan, they know he's a beast, and I still had an hour cardio to do. Now I'd do my leg workout at Ultraflex Preston, then I'd drive to another gym, I'd have my post-workout, then drive to another gym, sit outside that gym for 30 minutes saying, how the fuck am I going to do this? And then doing an hour Stairmaster. Now once I'm on that Stairmaster, it was like no one's outworking me. With that stupid mindset, like obviously people will outwork you, but it was just the mindset I was in. And I remember like 5 minutes left and I fell off it, and I was hyperventilating. And I just crawled to the changing rooms to get some like a drink or anything in me. But that's how much I was willing to push it.
Yeah, and you've got to be fair, you've got, like I said before, you've got to take the emotion out. Don't matter whether you're tired, don't matter what you feel, whether you can't be asked.
No one cares.
You just do it, and it's got to be done no matter what. And if you don't, then again...
You get found out on the stage.
Exactly, that's it.
You get found out, and like, I'm not that guy who just goes to turn up numbers. Every show I've gone prep for, I've gone to win.
Yeah.
Obviously I've not won every one. I've won shows, I've done well, but I've always placed in my shows. Now that's what I'm about. Like, I don't just go up to make numbers saying, "No, I competed, I got my medal." Now that's just a weak mindset to me.
Yeah, 100%. So your training now has changed a lot.
Yeah.
So how would you describe your current training now?
Just ready for anything. Ready for anything.
So I mean, when I hear the term hybrid, a lot of people are using this hybrid athlete now, but your name does spring to mind. Cause
there's some great athletes. I've met some great people on this journey. I started at a hybrid centre down at West Orton, some top lads, great coaches, and that's where I really found myself into this training. I really got obsessed with it. The environment they've got down there is brilliant. I can't recommend the place enough. And then I just started doing my own things because I've always been this guy who loves to train on my own.
Yeah.
Just that's where I find myself in voluntary suffering, where I'll be in a deep dark session and there's no one helping you.
And I think it's kind of a meditation as well. I think that's what I find in the gym. You're kind of in your own zone. Nobody can bother you, and you're just getting it done, and you feel so much better when it's actually finished.
Yeah, and like when your mind's screaming at you, like on the rower, I just think the rower is the ultimate fitness. Now, every session you do, even on your good sessions, you will get humbled on the rower. I don't care what anyone says. You think you've done a good session, which you have done a good session, but you will be left in pieces. Now, that's me. Again, I always bring everything. I just love searching new realms in my mind, in them dark places where it's when you're training on your own, it's so easy to give up. But I will just ignore that voice and just continue to the absolute end, and then just fall off and lie on the floor.
And that's the good thing, because once you've done that, you know you can better yourself next time. And
Definitely.
you do. And then you look back and you think, that wasn't even that.
Yeah, of course it is.
Big.
Looking back at it, at the time, it's, 5 minutes? It depends on the sessions you do. Like, there's some really intense sessions, and I just think the best thing I've ever done is move to functional training. I feel healthy, I feel fit, I feel alive, and my mind's strong. But again, I can go on bodybuild.
Yeah.
I can come for a bodybuilding session. I can go for a fit functional session. I can go for a run. I can go for a swim. The term ready for anything. Yeah. That's what I want to be. So it's not that as well. My kids, I always see myself in a situation, if my kids are in trouble and I couldn't make it because I couldn't move, I was too fat, or I couldn't live with myself. So I want to be first in line, the front line running.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you want to be able to spend time with them and play with them. I mean, some people can't even do that.
Yeah, of course.
That unfit. So yeah, I think that's a really good point to make. So is there any kind of set routine to that each week, or is it just...
No, like people tell me that I get messages all the time, which I know I inspire a lot of people because they message me all the time, which I'm really grateful, and I love every single message I get. And I still can't take it. I don't know how to take it because I'm just a normal guy. Anyone can do it. It's about reprogramming your mind. But yeah, my routine is... It's how I feel on the day. It sounds stupid. I don't have a plan. I really don't have a plan. Obviously, I'll try and do 2 to 3 bodybuilding workouts a week. I'll try and get some stationary cardio in because I do like that, like the Stairmaster. I love the Stairmaster. I'll do an hour, no problem. And it's boring, but that's what makes the mind stronger. Staring at a wall for an hour. It's boring work. Nobody wants to do.
You're doing what the 99% of people can't do.
But yeah, like it depends how I feel on the day. It really does. But when I was doing the Concept 2 charts on the ski ergs, I'd plan sessions. I would plan sessions for that, on rowing sessions for these maximum efforts, because the maximum efforts are disgusting. But you need to do 2-3 weeks work before you can even attempt. It could be a 3-minute 1,000 meter session, but you will be on pieces on the floor after.
So just for my information, because I'm not entirely sure about this, so CrossFit, you've done that, and High Rocks, what is the difference between...
I've not really done CrossFit. CrossFit's more bodyweight movements, which I didn't get at first, but now I understand it, and I think the lads are incredible.
Oh, yeah.
And it's something I do want to delve into, CrossFit. I do want to get into the movements. It's the lifting and the movements.
I mean, obviously you've got to be fit, but I think there's a lot of technique goes with that as well.
Honestly, the unreal lads, them CrossFit lads, it's the technique. Like, I'll just pick a bar up, just mom strength, and my technique's crap. And now I've been entering competitions. I found out that I should be lifting heavier, but I can't because my lifts are shit because I'm not done them. I just pick it up, and I get people saying, "Oh, you should." And I do want. There is a few people, coaches, I want to obviously message and get a part of it because I do want to get into CrossFit because I know I've got the physique, I've got the shape, and I know I'll be a good athlete in CrossFit.
Yeah, absolutely. So now I want to move on to one of your many business ventures. So I want to start with Cambo.
Yeah.
So what is Cambo? What does the ceremony involve, and who is it for?
Cambo is it's from a frog in the Amazon jungle. It's called the monkey tree frog, and it's a medicine. What they do, they tie the frog up. They're not harmed while they're doing it, and they'll tickle its back, and they will get the excrement off its back, put it onto sticks. Now that's the medicine. Now the medicine is transferred onto sticks. Then in a ceremony, Cambo is very much a cleanser, a detoxification, and an intention setting. So you come with strong intentions, what you want to work on, release what no longer serves you. So it's known to have helped with PTSD, anxiety, depression, addictions, and just can really put you back on the straight and narrow. But you have got to work with it. Cambo will not be there the day after saying, come on, let's get up out of bed. You've got to put in the work in. Now I always say the real work is early mornings, diet, water, cold water, meditation, early mornings and late nights. Now that's the real medicine. It's free, but nobody wants to do it. Now in a ceremony, well, obviously we would have had a consultation first, highlighting what we want to work on, and then I'll burn your skin, and then I will apply. It's always on the left arm for the men and the right leg for the women as tradition, and then I'll apply the medicine onto the burns, and then it will go through your lymphatic system straight through the bloodstream, and it will come. You'll feel a sensation coming up your body. It's very intense. I'm not going to bullshit. It's intense. You're going to be in a rough ride for 10-15 minutes. Now we apply breath work and just calmness and stillness, because in stillness you get answers. In silence you get answers. And now it will just come through the body, working where it needs to go, and you will purge everything out.
So there's got to be a lot of pain involved, especially because a lot of people have probably seen the pictures on Instagram. You see pictures of the knife. Cutting you, so that must be pretty painful.
The knife doesn't cut you, it's like an insect stick. I'll burn that, and then I will just burn you. It's like a cigarette burn, and I'll just dot you, and then wipe the edge off it, and then the medicine goes onto that. Now we take the first 5 minutes are the worst bit. You're going into the unknown, you don't know how it's meant to feel. So this is why it's my job to make you calm, make you aware, and just make you nice and calm and grounded while the process is going on.
So is this just like a one-off thing, or can you
literally, I'm not that guy where I says you need to come in every week. I'm not that guy. You'll literally get a feeling, you'll get a calling for it. Some people I've done, and it's really, to put them straight on the now, I stay in contact with a lot of my clients because they become friends, and I'm part of their journey, they're part of my journey, and it's really changed their lives, and it's unbelievable to see. So, but I've had some people, they'll have 3, and they do a lunar cycle, a 30-day process where you'll have 3 Cambos in that 30 days. Now that can really put you straight back on the narrow, because you're delving deeper and deeper into who you really are. We're like layers of onions. So as we get older, we get all these walls of onions, I like to call it, of bullshit, of what we're meant to believe, obey, listen, do this, do that, all the propaganda shit. Now it's up to us to unpeel these onions and go back and reconnect to the centre of the onion, which is who we are.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. So let's move on to cold water therapy.
Yeah.
Now nowadays, every man and his dog's in his garden. Instagram videos, sat in their ice tubs. Now I know you've been doing it for a lot longer than most.
Yeah.
So what got you into cold water therapy? Why did you do it?
Why did I do it? Because
there wasn't that much information on it back then. I'm sure, because how many years ago
I've been doing it about 4 years, I think. I fell into dark ways myself. The people close to me know how bad I were with addictions, recreational drugs and alcohol, and I was pretty bad. I was in a bad way, and when I was in a bad way, it was through COVID really, when we were just sat at home. I was still training, I got access to gyms, and then I'd just go home, start drinking, and one thing led to another, and it just become a daily habit. Now I was still helping people, I was still training, and this is when it was getting a problem, because I was like, well, if I still can do this, I still can do this, why should I stop? And it was just getting worse and worse and worse as the days went on. Now I'd be helping people on messages, trying to inspire them, and then I'd go home suffering. So
yeah, it's alright helping everyone else with their problems, but who do you turn to?
I needed help myself, but I always put on a brave face. But I'm glad it happened because I wouldn't be this guy I am today. Like I said, I really think you have to hit total destruction to find out who you are, and then it's up to you how you deal with it.
Yeah.
It's not what happens to you, it's how you react to what happens.
And then you've got to rebuild from that.
So I started going up mountains and stuff like that. It sounds strange, but there's a saying, it's not the mountain you conquer, but it's yourself.
Yeah.
And that means a lot to me. And then I just started getting in water, because obviously when we were doing it, it was hot, and so I'd do it to cool down, and the sensation you got from it, it were like demons were coming out of me, in a way, and they were just gone, and I just felt alive. So I just started delving more into it. I've done everything. I've led in puddles, I've led in rivers, I've got in bins, anything.
Yeah.
I've got a bin at home, I couldn't fit in it.
So like now you've got Credo.
Yeah.
So just explain what that is and how did that come about after the cold
Credo
water?
is an infrared sauna and an ice cold dipping tank with a filter on it, a chiller system that drops a bone chilling 2 degrees water. Now the concept of it is, I've run it as exactly what it is. You can come in the infrared sauna and then you alternate into the cold water. So you get an half an hour slot, and it's a client base where I want clients to come and use it. So I want athletes there who struggle with injuries, bodybuilders, footballers, runners, you name it, high-end athletes, just to come in, because the cold water, it will heal you. If you've got a knock, if your legs are full of inflammation, you've done a big leg session, you will get in the tub and it will flush everything. You've done it yourself, you've been, and it will flush everything through. But it's not that. I've helped people who are struggling with mind, who are struggling with mental health. And you can see how much it helps them when they're sat in a tub. You can see them smiling in their head.
I've heard so many stories where people said that. I mean, the first time I actually did it, I had a client who was doing an Ironman and he was struggling to recover, and I said, go and do some cold water. And then I thought to myself, I've never actually done it. Yeah. So how can I tell someone to do it? Although I know it works, there's science behind it, I haven't actually done it myself. So that's when I came to you, and I must admit that the day before I was shitting it. I didn't know what to expect.
But that feeling never goes by the way. I remember you messaging me saying, look, I want to push myself now. You've got a strong mindset, and you always have. So, and then you handled it well, but you can see it was a challenge to yourself, 100%. Overcoming that challenge.
And that's what, after the first session, the second time I did it was basically just to challenge myself. I had a bit of a shit week, and I thought I need to do something just to reset, challenge myself. So that's the best place to do it.
Oh yeah, of course it is.
Because that tub does not take any prisoners.
Well, this is what I mean. You can't hide from that.
No.
When you do it in rivers, when you do it in up the lakes, it's amazing because you've got the scenery around it. So there's a lot of distraction to take your mind off it. Now, I get a lot of people, I can do 20 minutes in the cold, mate, your water is not cold enough. If you can do 20 minutes, your water is not. It's great that people are doing it, and it makes me happy that everyone is doing it and getting stuck into it and realising the concept of it now. Because a lot of people just jumping in, not knowing the depths, and you've got to respect it at the end of the day. You really have to respect the cold water.
I was going to say that because we know that can be dangerous. If you jump into an ice cold bath, I'm pretty sure you can go into shock and have an heart attack.
But it's again when people are doing it by rivers, stuff like that, they don't think of the consequences after it. Like, you've got to get dressed, you've got to get moving. Now you're trying to get dressed when you're cold in sludgy water. There's rocks everywhere. You're losing your socks. You're freezing. You're shivering. So you just really got to respect it. Know the depths of the water. Make sure you're doing it with someone. Just scope the area about. And just make sure there's exits where you can get out and you're not in danger.
Yeah, that's why I 100% recommend you do it at something like Credo, because you can jump straight in the sauna. You're there to help with breath work, which you are very good at that, to be fair. Because your first instinct is to get in and
what it is with cold water, so many people will go in, hesitate, use the mouth and fuck everything up. And it causes a sense of panic, shock. Now, if you go in nice and calmly, use your nose, inhale through your nose. That is your escape. It's so simple. Use your nasal breathing, release through your mouth, and everything will stay calm. As soon as you apply that breathing, the body will adapt.
It works. 100% it works. Yeah, definitely. Right, let's move on. Last month, I was scrolling through Instagram.
I know what's coming.
And then I see you with a rower on your shoulder climbing a mountain. So I I think everyone knows the story now, but tell us the story behind it. Why did you do it for a start, and what?
I did it for myself. I know it sounds a cliche. I didn't tell anyone. I told a few people. I told Connor, my videographer. I said, look, I want to do this, and I still think I did it because I still had a few demons I needed to put to bed. So I got a lot of answers that day, but I also got so many people coming down. They were like, what the fuck are you doing, man? And I was like, I'm just carrying a rope up top of Scarfell, why, what's up? And they were like, what charity are you doing it for? And I said, I'm not. And they couldn't believe it. Now, it kind of upset me, it kind of shocked me, because charity work is unbelievable. I respect anyone who does charity work. But most people are doing charity work not for themselves, and they're not doing it for themselves. Now, why don't you go and test yourself to the absolute limit? Go and find yourself. Go and put yourself in real uncomfortable positions, because that's where growth is. That's where growth happens. Now, charity work, like I said, it's growth, but they're not doing it for themselves. They're doing it for money. They're doing it to help people. They're doing it for likes on Instagram and stuff like that. Now, like I said, it's great. It's unbelievable. They couldn't believe. They're like, you're just doing it for fucking shits and giggles. Well, yeah, I just needed to put, like, there's people that have done it before, and I just love mountains and I love the rower. Like, I'm no rowing expert, don't get me wrong, and the amount of comments, because Concept 2 shared it, and the amount of comments I got on it saying, oh, this guy, look at his technique. And I always say, like, you can do good, you can do bad in life, you will always get criticism. Yeah. Now, it's out, like I said, I don't mind it, because I put myself on Instagram, so I'm in the open. So people are going to attack me, good or bad. But I've got a pretty tough face, so I laugh. I don't have time to read negative comments.
Let's face it, if people are criticising you, you're doing something right.
Yeah, that's it. I don't have time. I laugh at it and scroll past. It's like I'm too busy focusing on my next challenge.
And there's no one who's doing better than you that's going to criticise you.
Yeah, so obviously, like I said, I've got a good network of people who I train with. Like, I've learned so much off a few people in the last 18 months on the ergs. They know who they are. I don't even need to mention them. And I've met some really good lads who in this functional training where they are very good friends of mine now.
So not only did you climb up the mountain with it, you then did 10K, was it a 10K row at the top and then climb back down? Yeah. So I mean, that is like, so what was it that got you up there? Because let's face it, I don't think it matters how fit you are. Not anyone could do that.
No, I totally agree, but this is what I mean about the always ready. I was conditioned to do it. So there were challenging parts. It was uncomfortable to carry because it's an awkward piece of kit. So I put loads of tape on, loads of padding for my shoulders, kept swapping, changing. But like I said, there weren't no real challenging times. Like I said, I put a few demons to bed, but I'm conditioned for it. I was ready for it. Like, I did a marathon on the rower, and I said to one of my mates from Manchester, Bobby, I rang him, I said, I want to do that marathon tomorrow. I said, can you come and sit with us because it's boring. It's a 3-hour marathon, it's boring. So I did it, and people were saying, oh, how did you? It's like, I'm ready. This is the turn. I want to be ready for anything. So if someone says, do you fancy doing this? Yeah.
So, I mean, what has got you to that stage? You've had your struggles with mental health, alcohol, drugs. So what would you say to someone who is in that position now, and let's say they can't really see a way out, or they can't see how can they get to where you are now?
Get up, get out, get active. I posted it on my story, movement is medicine. Yeah. It really is. This is why I blast move. I've got some clothing coming out with movement is medicine. There's some bits on the way, and it really is that simple. Move and you will feel better. So many people in the morning could get up 10 minutes before they're meant to and go for a walk around the block, and they will instantly feel better. Mental health is a safety net for lazy people these days that they know no one can touch. People will probably give me shit for that comment, but so many people could help themselves by moving.
Yeah. Moving and
stop feeling sorry for yourself.
Eating healthy.
Yeah, nobody is coming to save you. Yeah. No one's going to give anything for you. I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but I know I'm on the right path. The work's infinite. It's an infinite game. It doesn't end. There's always new doors to open. There's always new realms to go through. You get to a point in your life, at my fitness, I feel like I'm at the top of my game. Then I'll see someone else who's smashing it. I'm thinking, wow, unbelievable. I love people doing well.
And that's the thing with social media. I think a lot of people use it for the wrong reasons. I'm the same as you. I see someone doing well and I think, fucking hell, how's this guy doing it? I want to do that or be better. But then a lot of people will look at that person and think that, well, start becoming jealous and thinking, oh, I don't want to be like that and all this, and use it in a negative way. So I think
a lot of it as well, I don't deal with negative people. I don't have time. So if someone's moaning about the weather, I'll walk off. It's like, fuck off, mate. Or if someone, this traffic jam, well, fucking hell, do something in the traffic jam, listen to a podcast, take your mind off it.
So what's next for Paul Coote? Where do you see yourself and your businesses in, say, 3 years' time?
What's next? I really don't know. I'm just enjoying the ride. I know it sounds a bit daft, where I just really am enjoying it, because I see people who do well, but I see the stress with it, and I don't want that. I know, like, I can't avoid stress, but if I can avoid it as much as possible, I will. I'm just enjoying what happens, what's coming to me. What is meant to be for me will happen for me. I massively believe that. I'm not chasing I don't know, I'm just enjoying the ride. Just what will be, will be. Like I said, I'm glad everything has happened to me, because I wouldn't be this guy I am today. I'm definitely nowhere near where I want to be, but I'm definitely on the right path.
So just to finish off, we have got a couple of questions, put a questions box on Instagram last week for people to ask you. So it's probably taking you back to your bodybuilding days. Someone's asked, push-pull legs versus a targeted muscle group split, which is better?
Depends what you're training for, what your goals are, what your targets are. I've always been a single body part session me, where I'll go and train chest, chuck some tries in, I'll train back, then I'll train legs. I just like putting all my effort into that one muscle movement, where, like I said, I'm not dissing the push-pull legs. It's good, I've done it before, it's really good, it's effective, but I've always been the one muscle target man. But it depends, like I said, what target you are. If you're thinking of competing, first thing I'd do is get a coach. I really would get a coach. It's that accountability, it's that second opinion, it's just taking all the stress off you, then you can focus on your training, your eating. That's what their job is for. Go and get Andy, he'll get you shredded. But yeah, literally what suits you, everyone's different.
I think first you've got to enjoy it. What do you enjoy doing? And secondly, if you are bodybuilding, have you got any weak points? If you've got any weak areas, obviously they need addressing, they need focusing on more. But I'm the same as you. I prefer an old school bro split style of training. I think that works best for me. So
yeah, like I said, it's what suits you. If you try both, If you've not got a coach, or just experiment yourself, try different foods, try putting on some size, try cutting yourself. Just literally, like, I don't really prep my food anymore. I just know what I need to eat. I know what works for me. People say, send me your diet. I'll send you your diet. You won't do it for one. You won't look like me for another. And you probably won't do it.
And you can just go out and buy something and know what you're eating, essentially. Cause
that's it. I know what works for me. Like, I'll always put my carbs in pre and post, and some at night.
So someone's asked, what is the next challenge? Have you got anything planned or in your head?
I've always got challenges, but I won't disclose. I just like to get up and do them. If I've got a challenge, I will just go and do it, rather than beat around the bush trying to make a big scene of it. Because when people say, I'm going to do this, a lot of people talk the talk. Not many people walk the walk. They will just bullshit themselves. They'll probably post after a big session that fucking endorphins are running high, dopamine's running high. Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to fucking go and jump up Mount Everest, and then they just won't follow through, so you look a clown. Just go and do what you say you're going to do in your head, and then post about it. And then if you fail, you fail. But I don't see failures as failures. I see them as lessons, because as long as you get a lesson from that failure, it's not a failure, it's a lesson, 100%. And then you can move on.
So, someone's how many hours per day do you spend in the gym, and how do you balance that with your family life?
I really don't spend a lot of time in the gym. It depends. I'll do I'll go on a walk in the morning, I'll class that as cardio. I've got bits of kit in my garage, and then at night, that's my main focus session. I'll either do a functional training one, an erg one, or a bodybuilding one. But in them evening sessions, I could do 3 sessions in one. So I could be doing like a 16-minute EMON, a 16-minute, and then a finisher. So it looks like I'm documenting it all. And as for my family, I have my breakfast every day with my family. My family comes before anything. My daughter started coming gym with me now. My lad, he's getting back into stuff. He's just a boy at the minute, just wants to be with all his mates. But I always make time for my family, where that I don't post my family in the morning because that's my time I want with my family. And as for my training, I'll only train like 1 to 2 hours a day, but it looks like I train a lot. And the balance, I don't watch TV, I don't listen to the radio, I don't have time. I'd rather be out and about walking the dog, especially weather like this. Yeah. I'll watching sunsets, watching sunrises, because they're just energy releases. You're getting energy, free energy from it. So many people, just like I said before, just get outside, get active, you will feel better, you'll feel amazing, and you'll be losing weight, you'll be feeling good. We have to be our own doctors these days. We have to be our own doctors. Movement is medicine. You need to prioritise you before anything else. I know it sounds selfish, but when you're at the top of your game, your surroundings will start getting inspired from you. They will start taking leaves out of your book. So you need to prioritise yourself. Just no one's coming to do it for you. Just fucking get the fucking scruff of your neck and move.
I tell that to clients when they start. People think, oh, it's a bit selfish, but once you get in the right frame of mind, you start training, you have more energy, everyone around you benefits.
Oh yeah, they'll start doing it. They'll start looking at calories on food, and they'll start taking care, they'll start tracking food. Like I said, we get no help, and there's so many distractions these days: fast food, alcohol, drugs, fucking vape pens. You get grown men going in, shot, oh, can I have a vape? It's fucking bullshit, synthetic shit they're putting, and you look a twat. I really don't like vape pens. It's like I said, it's each to their own. They've not even been tased. You look like a fucking car exhaust, blowing fucking smoke out your fucking mouth.
So, where can we find you on social media? I assume Instagram is the biggest
Instagram's my platform. I've got all my tags on my bio. It's at Coote9, so that's COOTY9. All my links are in that, and then Facebook is Paul Coote, which I don't really use anymore. I've only got Facebook and Instagram.
And we'll tag all them in the description on this video. So I think we'll wrap it up there. So thank you very much for coming in, much appreciated. I think we've had a really good conversation, and I hope it's helped some people out. So
even if anyone is suffering, I know it sounds a cliche, but I've been there myself, where you don't think you've got no one to go to, no one's listening to you, no one cares. My inbox is open for anybody who is struggling. I've been there, I've been sat on my own not knowing what to do. Seriously, just message me, and just start putting one step in front of the other. Even if you're in the darkest place, just keep walking, because at the end of the dark is light, and just keep going, but you need to do it yourself. Just cut some people off out your life, and just really go small for 6 months, and I will guarantee you will be in a better place.
Yeah, doing anything is better than nothing.
Yeah, 100%.
Right, thank you very much. Thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.